Could it be that the once mighty Russian Navy, feared and respected by nations worldwide, has been reduced to a mere shadow of its former self? How could such a swift and dramatic decline occur? Today, we dive deep into the turbulent waters of this fascinating subject. The decline of the Russian Navy, much like a ship's descent into the icy depths, didn't happen in an instant. It was a slow, gradual process that began in the early 1990s, shortly after the end of the Cold War. The dissolution of the Soviet Union left Russia with a giant fleet, but without the economic means to maintain it. The first blow to the Russian Navy came with the fall of the Soviet Union in 1991. Suddenly, the Navy found itself underfunded and neglected, with its resources stretched thin. Ships began to rust, and the once formidable fleet started to deteriorate at an alarming rate. Next came a period of corruption and mismanagement that further accelerated the decay. Money intended for modernization and maintenance seemed to disappear, and the Navy's infrastructure crumbled. Some of the most glaring examples of this period were the failed projects like the plane, a colossal waste of resources that never saw the light of day. Then, in the early 2000s, the Russian government shifted its focus towards the army, further depleting the Navy's already scant resources. This decision, while understandable given the country's land-based threats, only served to hasten the decline of the Navy. While all this was happening, the world was changing. Other nations were investing heavily in their navies, developing new technologies and strategies. The Russian Navy, stuck in the past and starved of resources, struggled to keep up. Now, the once formidable Russian Navy is a shadow of its former self. Its ships are aging, its technology is outdated, and its reputation has been tarnished. But while the situation may seem dire, it's important to remember that the sea is a harsh and unforgiving mistress. Even the mightiest of ships can be brought low by a perfect storm of circumstances. To summarize, the decline of the Russian Navy was caused by a combination of economic difficulties, corruption, mismanagement, a shift in focus towards the army, and the rapid advancement of other nations' navies. These factors, coming together like a perfect storm, led to the rapid decline of a once mighty force. So, as we navigate the choppy waters of history, it's worth taking a moment to reflect on the rise and fall of the Russian Navy. From its peak as one of the world's most powerful navies to its current state of disrepair, the story of the Russian Navy serves as a stark reminder of how quickly fortunes can change on the high seas. The tale of the Russian Navy is a cautionary one, a tale of what can happen when ambition outpaces ability, when corruption goes unchecked, and when focus shifts away from a vital institution. It's a tale that should give pause to any nation that wishes to maintain a powerful and effective naval force. So as we sail away from this topic, let us remember the lessons learned from the Russian Navy's decline and strive to avoid the same pitfalls in our own journeys. Because, as history has shown us, even the mightiest of navies can be brought low by a perfect storm